Hello, I'm Brian Richards. I'm a former electrical engineer and now consultant to engineering firms on staff retention solutions and owner exit strategies. It is no secret that Australia is facing a critical engineering skills shortage. As an interested participant and someone who wants to help the main parties bring attention to these challenges, I've prepared a series of short videos, with each one looking at an aspect of this situation. Even more attention appears to be warranted, as this is a challenge that is negatively impacting not only our engineering industry, but indeed our nation. I hope you find these videos of value, and if you do, please share them with others to bring much needed attention to this important issue.
In this video, I thought it might be interesting to see if we can identify some of the characteristics of engineers. In other words, what might a typical profile of an engineer look like if there were such a thing? Now, there are certainly some common characteristics. So what we can do is have a look at the population of approximately 230,000 engineering professionals in Australia. And from that, we can see that there is a significant number who reside on the eastern seaboard and in the capital cities. A very strong representation of males. There's the largest age band is 56% in the 30 to 49, Gen X and Gen Y. The median age is about 41 years of age. 57% are born in Australia. We'll have a look at this data graphically in a moment. 93% work full-time, 84% have a degree, and the remaining 16% have at least a diploma. 76% work in the private sector, and this figure of small or large businesses does vary from one survey to another, I've noticed, but in one it was identified that about 2/3 of engineers work in firms under 300 staff. Most are employees, about 7% are self-employed, although there could be a certain number of those employees who work for their own business, so that may skew the data a little bit. 19% work in the construction industry, although there's a strong representation from manufacturing, mining, and the finance, property and business services area. So we'll just have a quick look at a couple of graphs. The geographic distribution, 82% in the capital cities, about 12% in the regional areas. And we can see Sydney, with a greater number of head offices, certainly has a very strong representation in terms of numbers. Melbourne and Brisbane following along, and then we have some of the larger regional areas in and around those capital cities, Sydney, Melbourne, Brisbane and Perth. Country of birth, we look at this pie chart here, 57% were born in Australia, 9% in the UK and Ireland, about 4% in India, about 3% in New Zealand, and about 15% in other countries such as Germany, France, Middle East, Sri Lanka and so on. And there's also a strong Asian orientation there too. In terms of industries, about 19% work in the construction industry, and again we can see the other 2 or 3 industries well represented there as well. In terms of attitudes, there was a survey done by Roy Morgan in December 2008, and some of the predominant attitudes that came out of that were that engineers were typically optimistic about the future, success-driven, living a full and busy life, believing that job responsibility is important to their role, need security, wouldn't have difficulty coping with a demanding career, looking for new experiences, and interestingly are environmentalists at heart. Engineers also, from other studies, consider themselves as intellectuals, which is why I use the light bulb in this presentation. I suppose I can say this as a former engineer, and consider themselves fixer types. In terms of job satisfaction, again from that same study, we can see that about 76% indicated they were totally satisfied with their current job. But interestingly, about 24% in the second pie chart there showed an intention to change jobs in 2009. So there's some interesting figures there. But I suppose what we can say is that regardless of whether an engineer is a typical engineer or a little bit outside of those general characteristics, most engineers are being faced with some of the same broad concerns at the moment. One of those, in particular if you're a principal of an engineering firm, there are very strong trends. We know that engineers continue to be one of the worst affected occupations, experiencing skills shortages in Australia. Some of the reasons for that are evident in that data that we've just looked at in terms of the median age and so on. Given some of those parameters, the skills shortage problem we're experiencing at the moment is likely to get worse going forward. That means if you are the owner of a firm, you may need to be thinking about some innovative and effective talent management strategies to ensure that you can attract and retain those qualified professionals, whether they're typical or not.
This video is one of a series of more than 20 similar short videos highlighting the various core issues behind Australia's current engineering skills shortage. To see the others, just go to www.engineeringskillsshortage.com for the access details. Thank you, and once again, if you see value in these videos, please share them with others to bring attention to these important issues.